Howdy, folks. High Value DMD. Don't just give me your subscription, but please let me earn it. Let me earn your like and let me earn your comment. I'm married now, and people seem to take me seriously because of that. It's a weird dynamic, folks. I got married in my late 20s, and so the majority of my life so far has been single. And it seems that it's totally normal for people to get married later now. My parents, they're in their 60s, and they got married when they were like 24 and 22, I believe it was. My sister got married when she was, 23, 24, somewhere around there. But that's a far cry from what my grandparents, what they were like, their story. They got married one side of my grandparents, they got married when they were quite young, like 17 and 15. And then my other grandfather, he got married late 20s. So that was definitely out of pocket for his era. Something I've noticed, though, is it seems as if my whole life, I went to college. I did that. I got a master's degree. I went to dental school. Like, I'm doing all of these very professional things. I've had a job, like, ever since I graduated college. I had jobs. I had 3 jobs at one time, at one point. I had myself together. At least I was working hard. I wasn't slacking. But there was always this sense that people did not take me seriously. I don't really know why, but there's just something about a single guy that people just view as maybe irresponsible, or that this guy has unlimited time on his hands. That he's got nothing going on, nothing serious in his life. He's just going with the wind. And they just say, oh, that guy, he can do it. He can pick up the time on this. Yeah, he can work this extra shift. He's got nothing going on. No kids, no wife. Especially if you don't own a house. So if you're single, not a homeowner, you're just like this joke of a person. And I'll be honest, if you're watching this and if you're a young man and you're single for sure, maybe if you're dating, that'll add a couple points of serious to your resume. But dude, if you're just like, if you're single, and I don't even care if you're like a lawyer. I don't care if you're a doctor, man. Because I was in dental school. I was set to be a dentist. People still in my family, they spoke to me as if I'm just a kid. Just a kid, man, with nothing going on. And none of my family have seen me in a professional environment. They have not seen me in the chair as a dentist. And I think that would finally really shock their system to think, oh shoot, this is our cousin, this is our brother, this is our son that's in the chair, man. He can prescribe medications, he's giving people shots, he's yanking teeth out of people's jaws and cutting their bone away, and he's set to be an oral surgeon at that. I think that just now in my life, I am gaining some amount of respect. And I don't mean that poorly. I don't mean that people have been disrespecting me necessarily, at least in my family. I will say, in the community, in the workplace, in maybe in church too, I do feel a little bit of that disrespect, like, oh, this guy's time isn't important. Okay, your family, they can kind of do that to you, and it's all in love in a way, to a certain extent. But hopefully you're understanding the whole picture of what I'm painting. But now that I'm married, I am, at least this is how we view it where I'm from. Okay, people sort of get the message, right? I have a wife, and she doesn't currently work, and so this guy right here, he's getting up early to go to his job and bring home the bread, man. He's bringing home the money to pay for this place that we're living in right now, to take care of her, to provide for all of her needs, all the food, all the clothes, all the vacations that we're about to go on. That's me that's bringing home the dough, and that's a blessing from God that it has been given me, the opportunity to be able to do that. But that's some serious stuff. I'm taking care of another human. So now I'm serious. Like if I go to church, if I introduce myself at church, it's like, hi, I'm so-and-so, and this is my wife. It's like, oh my, dude, are you kidding me? This guy is a serious mother freaker, dude. Like, he's got a wife? Are you kidding me? Whereas if I'm just some random dude standing in a pew, like, I look like a freaking idiot, okay? I'll be honest. Like, going to church single, that's one of the hardest things you can do as a man. I don't know what it's like, the experience of a young woman, but I would have to think that perhaps it's a little bit easier as a young woman because you're there, you're not seen as a creep, and you're eligible maybe to date, you know, I don't know. Like, people trust you more. But as a young man, people's like, who is this guy? Who is this freaking weirdo over here? Is he a sicko? Is there something off with him? Why is he over here standing off to himself? You know, there's just more suspicion. But when I have a woman with me, in particular my wife, it's there. That's a sort of validation. That's a check on anything. It's like, okay, he's controlled. He's settled in his life. He's not living a wild, rambunctious life. He's getting laid on a regular basis. It's crazy, right? But that's how like I feel now that I have transitioned into that. And I swear some people are going to watch this and they will validate this. I know I'm not crazy. Like, either if you're single, okay, you have friends and they're married and they're treated differently than you now. I swear it. And you know, I've seen a lot of stuff like in the Mormon community online about how that works. You know, if you're a single person, you're just like not a serious person. But if you're married, it's like, oh shoot, you know, let's put them sort of on a certain, I don't know, a certain level. Like in my Christian context, now that I'm married and I got seriously involved in the church and I'm a doctor, and dude, like this guy, he's got his finances going, he's got a degree. Dude, let's get him and his wife and let's have them lead a Bible study or something. Yeah, like they're an example to look to. Dude, hey, I don't have everything figured out. Okay? I don't have everything dialed in 100%. I'm just a guy that has goober maxed his way to this point, man. I being a complete goober, getting into dental school, and I did that, but dude, I'm just figuring it out like anybody else. Okay, I'm just a dude. All right, I try really hard and I can memorize things well. All right, I goober maxed my way into having a wife. I mean, I just got on the apps and swiped, and okay, yeah, like I'm a certain height, sure, and I'm not hideous. I'll give myself that, but I like to think that I'm just like a lot of other people, just figuring it out. Okay, so don't put me on a pedestal. The whole marriage thing is an interesting dynamic. I feel sorry that this has been created. Like, our culture, our society sees singles as unserious people without any direction, and that you have to get married for that. And marriage is not for everybody. It's really a faith-based thing. You know, if you're not interested in faith, in a religion or anything like that, perhaps marriage isn't for you. But that's my experience so far. And I'm just interested in how it's only going to shape up even more. And I'll tell you, like in the context of being like a surgical resident and being a dentist now, like in my context now, my bosses, they definitely treat me with more respect, like giving me the time off that I need to go on these trips that we're planning. It's like, okay, like he's got a wife that he needs to take care of. He's got something going on, you know. And as a surgical resident, you know, he's a busy guy. He's got a family going on. You know, I might get tasked with maybe a little bit less than the single guy. You know, it's almost like a social pressure for the single guy to pick up something because, you know, freak him. Like, he's not doing anything. So anyway, let me know what you think. I hope I earned your subscription. I hope I earned your like, and I hope I earned your comment. Let me know what you think below. Are you a single mother freaker? Are you single little goober? Trying to goober it through this figure it out, or what? Or are you married? Are you married? Are you on about your business? You got your wife. Hopefully at least a girlfriend. Let me know. Till next time.